and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Guess who is right here in Lagos studio? He's not coming from London this time around. Where is he coming from?
Ta-da! You know, Cecilia, the last time I was here, I said we didn't give the sort of introduction that I wanted. So now that you have told the people that I'm not in London, so let me do it the way I used to do it. Sporty greetings, reaching you live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm not still a Konakwan.
Right. That's here in Lagos studio, right? And of course, it's a Thursday. Bolu Omoni is right here in the studio with us in Lagos.
Listen, again, immediately I just saw Cecilia's excitement, you need to know something different is happening today. And of course, the big man himself is out, so maybe I can banter him one-on-one instead of the banter. And it's around in the period where we are discussing money conversation.
Do you understand? Wow, money, $1 billion, unprecedented. It has never happened before. Yes, that's one of the discussion on the show tonight. FIFA just last night announced that they will be giving clubs participating at the FIFA Club World Cup, the expanded one taking place in the US this year. How much? $1 billion. Not even the FIFA's Men's World Cup. I mean, the winners got that. The prize money wasn't even there. What about the women? Not even close. But this time around, all the clubs, I mean, they will have to share in that money. And that's not alone. $250 million will go to clubs that are not participating. What is FIFA trying to do? Clubs will have to be well-financed, right? We'll talk about that on the show tonight. And, of course, the big one, the FIFA Women's Champions Cup. That is being introduced for the first time. So this year, for the first time in the history of competitions, club competitions in women's football, all the confederations will be crowning champions this year. And that's simply because they will have to take part in the Women's Champions Cup. Great one, right? So FIFA is pumping money not just into men's football, but also into women's football. And also in 2028, we will be having the FIFA Women's Club World Cup. So much is going on when it comes to not just women, but also men. And FIFA is ready to dole out the money and ensure whatever they're getting from these competitions are, put back into those competitions. That's not the only thing we're talking about tonight on the show, Austin. Cecilia,
there's so much to talk about, but I love the fact that FIFA is giving us the sort of attention that we've been, calling for in terms of inclusion and ensuring that they pump money into the women's game. And with what they're doing with club women's football, it is going to now get clubs to wake up. We love what Edo Queens did at the Women's CAF Champions League. We love what the likes of TP Mazembe, Mamelodi Sundowns seem to be doing. But now when you put so much money into it, it's not about, clubs coming out to say, okay, we are playing for the money. It's about what it does to the ecosystem. It's about what it does to the followership. And that's why I love it so much, Cecilia. So I'm big on this one. And I want to say well done to FIFA. And back home in Nigeria, that's the reawakening that we need to do more for the women's game. Yeah, that's what we need to do. And also we'll be talking about the NPFL will get our attention. That one game will be played tomorrow. And also flag football. Yes, we'll talk about the Abuja tryout that happened 2 weeks ago. But this time around, the Lagos tryout ended on Wednesday. So 50 players will be picked for the championship taking place in Egypt in June. We will talk about that also on the show tonight. Yes, flag football getting our attention. And of course, the big one, the UEFA Champions League. Is Europa League night tonight? But we'll just take a look at what happened last night. 10-man Barcelona, how they were able to beat Benfica. And of course, PSG couldn't, scoring 10 against Brest, but not even 1 against Liverpool in the first leg. Yeah, that's a whole lot. So we'll talk about that. And Bayern Munich, of course, were on fire against Bayer Leverkusen. 3-0. Who expected that to happen? That will also get our attention. Of course, Austin is here. He will be giving us updates right here in the studio. What's happening in Europa League. He will do that tonight on the show. Yes, Bolu, it's a loaded package. And of course, FIFA ranking. Yeah, when it comes to the Super Falcons, yeah, they were not active in the last international break, so they're just where they are, 36. So not much, still where they are. And in Africa, they've been there for a very long time. Number one, and no one is catching up. Not even South Africa, who are trying to flex their muscles. Bolu, so we're going to start off with the FIFA Club World Cup. Now, this one, newly introduced the Women's
Cup, I mean, this is something that when I heard of it, I'm like, we're focusing on the FIFA Women's Club World Cup, when, during the whole discussion and everything. And then this overnight, I mean, last night, we just, okay, there's something new that's coming up.
Well, one thing is certain, when someone does things and you criticize a lot, when they do well, it's good to also give them credence for what they did. I remember they're always criticizing for FIFA, but when they are talking about we'll generate over 2 billion from the new FIFA Club World Cup this summer, then boom, they said the teams will earn over 1 million. I think that's good. Then now, not the men alone are going to enjoy the money. The Women Club World Cup is just a different Champions Cup. But I think I love it. Like Austin said earlier, it just means it's a wake-up call. It's a reawakening for women league owners, continental companies, to tell you that we always give reference to Alali. They made over $20 million from Club World Cup alone.
Yeah.
They never won that competition, but they made that much. It sends a message down to Africa now that other nations, like you mentioned Edo Queens, imagine Edo Queens winning, or whoever represents Nigeria to win the next CAF Champions League, automatically you qualify for the Champions Cup. Then imagine how much money you would make from that. I like it when you make money and you're investing into those who are the essence of the event. Not you are making 10 billion, that you are saying, okay, the players or the teams can share 1 million. No. So I like that they are
basketball in Nigeria happens like that.
And it makes a lot of sense. I can't wait for the competition to start proper.
So Austin, we'll take a look at the timeline of the Continental Club competitions.
And when Bolu was talking, I was like, this is so good for women's football all over the world, and I've given FIFA their flowers, but it's important for our viewers to understand the timelines. And if you take a look at it, you could tell that this will be busy, and Cecilia loves this sort of things, because she wants to use it to, brag about the women's game. And you see, she did just that when she was talking about the FIFA rankings with the Super Falcons. We love it so much. So let's take a look at the Continental Club competition finals, the timeline. The AFC Women's Champions League, 24th of May, 2025. So we're going to be seeing a lot of football. Keep the dates down, the timelines. The CAF Women's Champions League, we are big on this one. The 23rd of November this year. The CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup, the 24th of May, 2025. The CONMEBOL Libertadores Femenina, 18th October 2025, the OFC Women's Champions League, 17th of May 2025, the UEFA Women's Champions League. I'll be monitoring this one right there in England to see what will come out of it. And then the FIFA Women's Champions Cup 2026, January 28th, 2026 to February 1st, 2026. Cecilia, I just look at this and I say, busy women's football for us to follow.
So what it means, it tells you a whole lot that every continent, they understand that yes, you already have a timeline. You know how to organize your competition, not when we're waiting for a long time. Remember what happened last year? We know the regional qualifiers was on. We didn't even know the time when you'll be playing, the main Champions League. So right now, all the clubs across Africa understand that you need to end your league, you need to go for the qualifiers, because the final will be, whatever happens, you must play the final November 23rd. That's what FIFA is telling them. I love this timeline, so you give them time to really plan. And that's what we keep telling CAF. This is what you need to, emulate. Let's have timeline for everything, and then it's easier for you to follow women's football.
We practically begged for them to tell us when we're going to have the WAFCON. As big as the WAFCON.
So our producer was like, when is the WAFCON date again? I was trying to, okay, it's actually July, because... Okay, let's leave. We'll have that discussion another day, because once we start this, we know we'll not end it. Okay, let's talk about the 100 days to go, right? Talking about the FIFA Club World Cup. We are going to be listening to... Infantino has a lot to say concerning that, right?
And he's been talking about it, Cecilia, because from the first day he got into office, the tone was business. Guys all over the world, there is money in this thing called football. And that's why when it comes close to Africa, it's trying to tell Africa, you have a market for business, so do something about it. So when they announced $1 billion for club football competition, go and ask Qatar what they are enjoying for just hosting the World Cup. So there's so much money to go around, but let's listen to Gianni Infantino. There's so much update coming at $1 billion prize money. Cecilia, that one gets me confused.
And FIFA is taking nothing from the money they're going to be making from the FIFA Club World Cup.
Demonstrating consistency.
Well, first, FIFA gets zero. And via a groundbreaking, first of its kind, global solidarity model that is calibrated to the overall commercial success of the competition, a new benchmark to support the growth and development of club football all around the world will be set, ensuring teams from all around the planet can benefit. $1 billion will be distributed to the participating clubs, and we have a target of an additional $250 million as solidarity to non-participating clubs across the world. So for the first time in the history of club football, the tournament will deliver a solidarity fund that will be distributed globally, and it will be significant. Crucially, the Global Solidarity Fund and the prize money for the participating clubs will be entirely covered by the tournament's revenues. FIFA's reserves, obviously, which are there for global football development, will remain untouched. History will be made in the United States, and it all starts in just 100 days' time. The competition, the FIFA Club World Cup, will bring together the best of the best. And get your ticket now at FIFA.com/tickets. This is the start of something truly special, of something historic. The FIFA Club World Cup kicks off with Egyptian giants Al Ahly challenging the Lionel Messi-inspired Inter Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, in Florida. I mean, how big is that? This opening match, a standalone Saturday evening showstopper in the Magic City, will light the fuse on a months-long celebration of the world's best club football. Featuring 32 clubs and 63 matches in 12 top-notch stadiums across 11 unique US cities, the FIFA Club World Cup 25 will completely redefine how, when, and where the true club world champion is crowned. As a matter of fact, players of 82 different nationalities could take part in the tournament. So 82 countries worldwide will follow the FIFA Club World Cup with a very direct interest. These facts alone highlight that you don't have to come from a traditionally dominant soccer nation to represent your country or make your mark on the global stage, and actually maybe even becoming world champion. So together with...
I love it so much. That was FIFA's president, Gianni Infantino. And for a minute, I was saying to myself, is this guy talking about football or lecturing us on business analysis? And Bolu, that's what it's all about, you know. And when people say, oh, FIFA, they are interfering with football in Africa, I say, let them interfere, because we need this sort of exposure to understand that there's so much money to be made out of football, and that's the only way we can develop it.
The truth is there's a lot of money to be made. Like I said earlier, they're generating about over $2 billion.
Look at that.
Only, not FIFA, only that Club World Cup. And FIFA tournaments are many. But from that one alone, over $2 billion. And they've said, he said the point, like, I'm not touching this money.
Yeah.
We are not getting, it's just, we are pumping it back. But here we have the FIFA Go project, we have this. We need to know that there's business to be made through money. And the only way you can make money is to make sure everybody knows that these players are the essence of this company. As much as players complain, we play too many games, they still play because they also know what is coming in at the end of the day. There's no industry as big as FIFA because there's money. See what Mosepe is doing now. Literally every year, every continental competition, the prize money keeps increasing.
That's right.
When there's someone pressing your neck from the top, FIFA, you have to find a way to improve as well. I like it when you are improving, you are making more money, and the money is cutting across board. That's the most important thing. You have to remember that the players are the most important factor in the chess game.
You know what it means? For instance, maybe Eimba wins the Champions League. I mean, you get to play against the very best in the world. You get to play against Ronaldo. Yeah, okay. We don't Saudi Arabia. Okay, now Lionel Messi, yes, we know that's standard. Erling Haaland, of course, Kylian Mbappe. I mean, that's huge, and the money that will come back from it. Well, it's really big, really, Austin. It's big. And you know one thing I love about Infantino, the advert, where you can get your tickets.
No,
that was the best
they've started it already. I mean, we show the timeline for the Women's Champions. This is a timeline thing, and they already know with these projections. He knows where they are going with that figure. He talked about the Solidarity Fund. He talked about global football development and how they're going to pump it back into it. And by the way, when you said that, for instance, if anybody gets to win, can we want to increase the volume of his TV set? Because that even man will not play with that sort of money. But that's what we're talking about. We need this sort of education to let us know that we cannot have the numbers, we cannot have the markets, and we're not using it. That's what Gianni Infantino is saying to CAF and Mosepe. And that's why Mosepe is doing all he can, but because government don't see business in sports, they are still seeing it as leisure. And that's why we must keep playing this sort of talk from Gianni Infantino for them to understand that they need to take it serious. And that's why when they postpone the CHAN, Cecilia, what are we doing?
When CAF don't have any... Okay, no, we won't do CAF today. I've promised myself not to do CAF today. Yes, we're talking FIFA. And of course, this day with FIFA, Super Falcons, they were not active. I remember the last time when NFF President Ibrahim Gusso said, every FIFA window, we will have to utilize it and ensure the Super Falcons are busy. But they've missed one, so we'll be counting. We'll see if they're going to miss the next one. Hopefully, they don't miss any other one. But hey, we have the FIFA ranking right here, and the Falcons are staying where they are.
You couldn't wait for us to get into this. And yeah, shout out to the Super Falcons. We know their dominance in Africa, but still, they need to win another WAFCON. For the road. Just to prove that.
I told you La Decima. We are getting it this year.
We cannot wait, but that's the FIFA ranking, and of course, Africa's top 5. You have Nigeria. 36th position in the world, and then South Africa. They will be saying to themselves, with all of the money, what do we need to do to take these people out of this position?
They need Nigeria because the distance is about 20,000 or something. I think the difference about, I don't know, I'll check it again. It's so big that Nigeria needs to be inactive for 2 or 3 years for them to catch up. They understand that. Because we gave them the gap a long time ago.
But let me say, I like what South Africa seems to be doing. But I think they need our grace. God loves Nigeria, They need our grace for them to, get to this position.
I think we were working. Yes, grace, I agree with you. But we were working, and then we slowed down. So that's even why they even had to close the gap a little. It's about 2,000 plus or something. So when you have Nigeria on 16,000 plus points, you have South Africa on 14,000 plus points. So it tells you a lot. They are the champions of Africa.
I know, Cecilia, calm down. I'm not saying that we don't play better football. I'm just saying that they've done a lot, and there are things that we can learn from South Africa.
There is no competition.
Then 54th in the world for South Africa, 36th for Nigeria. But look at Morocco. A shout out to this country for everything that they've done for the development of women's football, not just in Africa, but in the world. They have shown us that when we want to build... I was speaking to a Moroccan journalist, and he said, Austin, everything that the men's team did at the World Cup was because they watched the women. They saw what the women were doing, particularly because they were so down there. And Bolu, Cecilia, they got the world talking about it, and they did so well even at the World Cup. Look at Zambia. I think this is so apt. If you cannot question this Africa's top 5. Zambia, what a story, and everything that they've done. Not just playing football in this country, but isn't it to empower the girl child and telling people that, look, when you've got a football in your hands, you can achieve your dreams. I love it so much. And of course, our brothers from Ghana, who are trying so hard also, but they cannot get here. With women's football.
Cameroon used to be in this mix.
But we can understand. Ivory Coast. So down here, it will keep changing till they go back and find out what these 3 seem to be doing, and then get the grace of this country called Nigeria. I love it so much.
We started so early. While others were sleeping, we started so well. And that's why we had that grace. Top 10 in the world, USA are still there. They're not leaving anytime soon.
And we know why, and we talked about it time and time again. And where we're living, Africa, if you come here, all you need to do if you want your football to shine is check what these 5 have done for
the
their
shocker
football.
happens to be Spain.
It's fun, you know, and Cecilia,
They weren't there before. You had Sweden, Canada, Brazil. They were the ones.
but before they got here, they
Yeah.
monitored this fall. You see?
England wasn't even in top.
No, but you cannot take away England, particularly.
No, I'm just saying,
yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about FIFA ranking, in the past 5, 6, 7 years, you always had Sweden, Canada in the mix, Brazil comes, they come in. But right now, then you have Germany, USA. But right now, Spain, England.
So it will keep changing because
a lot of things.
all over the world now, they are beginning to see the need to invest in the women's game. That's why we must do the same thing, you know, to catch up. But shout out to the United States, big model of women's football, still keeping their position. Surprise, surprise. And they will not stop because they love what they are doing with their football across board, and they will keep, I think they will keep this position, but it's difficult to take over this. So Germany, we know the story. England, you want to give it up to them. I live in England, I see the work that they do at the grassroots, at the club level, and they are giving it that level of. You go to watch a women's club game in England, I like, what's going on? And it's not Arsenal, you know. It's not Arsenal's men's team. Sometimes they get more numbers than Arsenal's men's team these days. Japan in number 5. Sweden, Cecilia used to be in this mix also, you know, and that's a big reflection of what they also do for club football.
Yeah.
Canada, we know their story. Brazil, how the mighty seem to be dropping, but we need to know what's going on. Korea, DPR, and then the Netherlands. Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving channels, television. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, there's still so much to talk about, particularly what's going on with flag football trials. We'll talk about it. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's get into the flag football conversation now. Cecilia, last week we talked about the trials, and it seems there's an update to that.
Definitely. Tryouts in Lagos. It ended on Wednesday. A lot of athletes, you know, were buzzing and, you know, thinking who will be picked. It's all about, you know, the tryout camp that was in Lagos. You have so many athletes, you know, actually coming out to take part, especially those who passed through the secondary school stage, those who went through the university, and even those who had to leave other sports. You know, they are sportsmen and women. They had to leave basketball and go to the flag football trials. So you have a lot of them coming together to do this. Let's just quickly take a listen to the organizers. Of course, we'll have Bolu do justice to this one.
How long is taking? So right now, in a situation where we need to get a team prepared in 3 months to go compete in Egypt, our priority is pre-ready, pre-prepared players. But at the same time, we're keeping track of a lot of raw talent, which we will develop over the course of time. But for the sake of short notice, we have pretty much in a short-term results setup. So
our intention in terms of going into the Olympics is not to just show up, it's to show up and win, right? So which means we need to train our athletes to the best possible skill sets. This is not just for the athletes, also even the coaches that will be training them needs to have the best possible training available. So yes, we're already late. However, we're up for the challenge, and from the athletes we've seen today, and also for the past few days, and also the past few weeks over in Abuja, we have huge potentials, and it's left for us to actually harness this potential and make sure during the camp for the selected group of athletes, we make sure we prepare very, very well and we test them to their limits.
The result has been amazing, more than we expected, and even people who are making marks, who are making good marks from these trials are people, student athletes that we've been meeting for the past 4 years, starting from secondary school. You know, people who passed through our secondary school program, you know, flag football program, like 4 years back. Some of them are now at universities. Some of them are still yet to get into university. But if they've left secondary school and they've not left the sport behind, if we want to go to the Olympics, we must win the game in Egypt, the African Championships games. We must win it. If we win it, then we have the tickets. We're still going to World Games next year, also to play, but we must first win at the continental level, which is going to be in Egypt in June. Yeah, and we believe we're going to win it because immediately after the trial camp, It's full intensive training. You know, what we want the players to do: sleep, dream, think, eat football.
That's what they have to do. Just focus on it. Don't think about anything else. And of course, they will be ready to go in Egypt in the African Championships, qualifiers for the Olympics.
Well, all the best to these guys. I wish they can achieve this one. I remember growing up, if this flagship was a thing when we were growing up, probably Nigeria would have been winning. There's something we did then, catcher.
Yeah.
That's literally what the flagship, we just look for how to pull the flag. So that's why the first time flagship football came to Nigeria, they were amazed at the talent they saw because it was natural to us. We chase ourselves normally. That's why he was speaking intensively about secondary school. Those were games we moved on from primary to secondary school. So I know the talent is never, just bring any sports that we don't even have an idea about. We will grow, you get the talent. Now it's easy to transition from football, move to American football, from this one, transition. So I wish them all the best come Egypt. Hopefully they can do enough to pick up this one. It means we can even have another medal hopeful at the Olympic Games, but they have to do the first hurdle first, win the game in Egypt.
And it's a very interesting game, by the way, because a lot of persons are hearing football and flag, and they're wondering, in flag football, contact is not permitted. So they don't touch themselves, but you need to take off flags, you know, from the opposite side, you know, and that's how they score points. So it's such an interesting sport, and I just hope that these guys will think beyond the Olympics, think beyond the trials, and think about proper development, putting our eyes. Because Cecilia, we talked about it the other time on the show. They seem to be doing so much, but it's not out there. So I think they need to go back and re-strategize. First thing first, make it acceptable. You know, people should be able to talk about it, understand the dynamics of the sport, and then from there, you get more persons coming to it and play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're spot on there. The fact that, you know, Nigeria is a football nation. When it's not football, people are not interested in it. Yeah. But now, when they started the Olympics tryouts and qualifiers, people were like, oh, okay, is this serious? I'm like, it's been here since 2019. Yep. You know, before the Olympics, you know, they started with the secondary school and everything, and now they are building a national team, which is really cool for the club. As you mentioned, wish them all the best as they prepare for the African Championships coming up in June in Egypt. Okay, we'll leave in that and quickly touch down on NPFL. Shooting Stars have been winless in the last 5 games. They have opportunity to actually, well, maybe level up with Eimba or move above them and close the gap a little bit on high-flying Remo Stars. They will be up against Katsina United tomorrow. So
that's a very decent team also, Katsina United. And their last game, I think, against Aqua United, they didn't win that one. So they will be looking at Shooting Stars and saying to themselves that they can get something out of this one. It's already match day 28. And Bolu, Cecilia just reminded us, she's been doing this for like the last 3 weeks, telling her that Shooting Stars have been winning. Do you see Shooting Stars getting anything out of this?
It's going to be very tough. They went on 8 games unbeaten, doing so well. In fact, I have friends who watch their home matches steady. They don't call it the Lagos Salami Stadium. They don't call it the Adamawa, but they call it the slaughterhouse. Because you don't go there to pick any points. But 2 home games, no wins, 2-2 and goalless. They are not slaughtering anything. If they are slaughtering anything, it's the points gap between themselves and Remo Stars. And now they are going away from home, which makes it even more difficult. You know, at this stage of the NPFL, 1 point away from home is a huge win. So it's going to be very, very tough for them. So I don't see them winning this one. If at all they are getting anything from this fixture, probably a draw. The question everyone is now asking is, when is Remo Stars winning the NPFL? Because the Shooting Stars drop points again. There's possibility Remo Stars would extend. Because those ones, home or away, they find ways not to lose. And that's the
Rivers are already second. They're holding on to that spot.
They're holding on to that spot. So for Shooting to be, if Shooting even plays in Confederation Cup, I think it's going to be a win for them. Getting back on the continent to play. Yeah, not the Champions League, but even if it's the Confederation.
But can they fix this stadium? This Lagos
we can't fix any stadium in Nigeria.
The pitch.
The only pitch you can fix in Nigeria is just the Nest of Champions in Uyo. And the people playing there are not even representing.
And this is a pitch, I think they renovated in 2021. And it was on TV. Yeah, about that. Yeah, that they brought a team, a foreign team to play there. And you see, and that's what I've always said. That it's maintenance. I don't understand each time I talk about this. Like the guys who are in charge of sports in Nigeria, they just don't get it. And that's why I said, stop building stadiums. Build.
You see, as he's trying to kick that ball,
the behavior of the ball will change.
Because so it's not flowing.
Yeah, and so that's why when I see critics of the NPFL say, oh, the coaches are not doing well, the players are not doing well, I say,
where are
no.
they playing?
Start with the administration of the game. It's not, look at this, for goodness sake. This is the great 3SC of Ibadan. This is the pride and glory of Nigeria's football.
Real Madrid has celebrated
about
over 120 years. The Bernabeu has been on for decades. It felt like they built it yesterday. And believe me, in the next 50, 100 years, they'll still have it until we learn that maintenance. To build a venue is not necessarily our problem. We have lots of football league grounds in Nigeria, but to maintain that
this is very easy. Just grass it. What's our name?
No, but that's the point. They can do all that. It will look good. I remember the last report I did on stadiums in Nigeria before I traveled. I said it that once it rains, the problems are exposed because there's little you can do to hide these things. And we've said it for a big team as Shooting Stars, for instance, Rivers United. We cannot be showing you until... Cecilia, we just talked about Infantino talking about club football and the prize money is $1 billion. And the state government is watching that. Or your state government should be so ashamed of themselves and this sort of stadium. We call that Rivers Stadium. A lot of them. And by the way, even with that bad pitch, the players still give their bids. Shooting Stars are third on the log, even with all of these things that we're talking about. Just imagine if they play on a proper pitch, you'd see something different. So it breaks my heart, Cecilia.
Yeah, it's breaking your heart because you're not ready. The whole of Nigeria is only one stadium that cap.
Even let's stop glorifying that.
Okay, let's leave it. Let's leave that. Austin, give us updates. Europa League, please.
I was monitoring. I was thinking Manchester United will probably get something out of that game, but. United these days and the way they just, do their thing. So that game ended 1-1. And Manchester United fans were like, okay, we've got the second leg to go and they can actually turn it around. AZ Alkmaar defeated Tottenham. Can you believe that? But then they had a good run to this point. So 1-0. I remember I told you the last time when the draw was made for the round of 16, the fans in England, because I stay very close to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they believe that they can win the Europa League. And I said it at Cecilia, you made some comments about that team and it's okay to dream. But yeah, this is club competition football. You never know what's going to happen. FCSB lost to Lyon at home. That's a very good result for Lyon. It ended 3-1 in favor of Lyon. Fenerbahce also lost at home to Rangers. And we've got Leon Balogun in that team. A good win for Rangers. Real Sociedad and Manchester United, I said, ended goalless. The game between Roma and Athletic Club is still goalless in the 34th minute. Ajax and Frankfurt 1-1, 33 minutes already gone. But a glimpse, that's one team that has done well in the UEFA Europa League. They lead 1-0 against Olympiacos. So let's see if they can hold on to that. And it's Lazio with a 1-0 lead away from home at Victoria Plzeň.
Interesting. Now we'll go straight to the big one. I mean, where you have the champions, where the champions play. The UEFA Champions League.
The big boys.
The big boys. Now, these two teams know how to score goals, but when they played against each other last night, the goals were not coming. PSG and Liverpool, we're starting off from there. What do you really think happened with PSG last night? Because they are a goal-scoring side. Ousmane Dembele, when he's on fire, you can't stop him. But last night, he was stopped.
That was one of Liverpool's worst possession game in Europe. It was all dominance from Paris Saint-Germain. But like they say in football, possession without penetration is literally useless. You need to put the ball into the back of there. Some persons say maybe complacent, that feeling of we are dominating, because I saw Liverpool midfielders. They were really panting. But fortunately for Liverpool, their goalkeeper was on song. He made some very, very good saves on the day. But PSG will look back and think we had everything. Someone and Slot came out and confessed at the end of the game that they were lucky. But the truth is you need a bit of luck as well in the game of football. PSG so far, I think they've been the best team in Europe this year. So in the turn of the new year, they're barely scoring lots of goals, but all the goals dried up. Especially after Kvaratskhelia got the goal. I thought, these guys, when they come up in the second half, they will get the goals. But the goals didn't come. They didn't get the finishing touch. Now it's one of the few times you'll even think any team will go to the Anfield and maybe have a chance. It's how good PSG have been so far this season, but you can't take anything away. Before the match, Luis Enrique said the most consistent team this season has been Liverpool, both on the continent and in the league, and they showed it on the day. Even what you see champions do is even the games where they don't play well. Liverpool had 2 shots on target, and one of them was a goal. And you have to call that a great job by the coach. everyone was taking out Mo Salah, and Javier Elliott, seconds after coming on, got the necessary goal for them. That's what champions do. You don't play well all the time.
Yeah, Cecilia and Bolu, you know what? We have seen Liverpool so good this season that everyone that seemed to have analyzed that game against PSG forgot that game was played in Paris. That's how much Liverpool has been so good. And this is the UEFA Champions League round of 16, where if you blink, you are out. And Liverpool won 1-0, and the coach is even saying they were lucky. Because that's what consistency...
Because they didn't play well. I mean, we watched the game. But Liverpool were outplayed in every ramification.
It was an away game.
Because it's expected away from home, and they packed the Princes.
And it's PSG that has also shown that they need to prove a point in the Champions League.
They will suffer in the next one. I agree with Slots.
Let's listen to Analysts. He said Liverpool, they were lucky to get a win. Maybe PSG will also need that luck when they play the second leg.
Yeah, I think when we would have had a draw over here, we would have been already the lucky one, and that is clear for everyone. I think they were the much better team today, especially in the first half. They had a lot of open chances, of 3 or 4 big chances. In the second half, they were still the better team, still had a lot of shots on target, but they were mainly from outside the box. Every underlying stat shows you that they were the best team in the Champions League. So we were the league table, won it, but they were in the underlying stats the best team. So I wasn't surprised that they were so good. So we're definitely going to need our fans in a week's time. I already knew it, but the players saw it today as well, and our fans and whole of England, that Luis Enrique made an incredible team here after 3 windows. So much pace, so much work rate, so much quality in the midfield, how they handle the ball. So it was an unbelievable challenge for us to get away here with a result, and we know it's going to be a hard one in a week.
Lucky PSG. I think Arne Slot should be proud of his team. And I love how cautious he has always been with the media when he's talking about his team. And I was saying it when he was talking that Liverpool, they've shown that they are playing team football. The players are playing impactful football. And that's why they get us talking every week, Cecilia. Definitely impactful, and they're getting the results that they need. And that's why they've opened that lead. For Arsenal, they're still chasing, I don't know, Ateta said, I will chase till I die. So let's see how far that will go. Let's leave Liverpool and quickly talk about this one. It was a surprise result. Bayern Munich beating Bayer Leverkusen by 3-0. No one saw that coming. Bayern were on fire on the night.
I agree with you. No one saw it coming. They've not beaten Leverkusen in 6 matches. And it felt like, this Bundesliga defending champion. Even in the league, they couldn't defeat them, despite Leverkusen having a poor run. Immediately I saw the lineup and Adli leading your line. What happened to Schick? What happened to Victor Boniface? I was worried for Leverkusen immediately I saw the lineup. Not worried for 3-0. I thought even if they would lose, they'll still fight. Maybe bring on the Boniface and Schick later on and get the goals. But Bayer Leverkusen know what they needed. Bayern Munich know what they needed to do. Now 3-0. Even if they lose the second leg, I don't think they are losing 4-0 in the second leg. I don't think they are losing 3-0 in the second leg. It was a good dominating performance for Bayern Munich. Things have happened, especially in the Bundesliga. They've won games. We saw how they struggled against Celtics. Yeah, they won, but they struggled. But this time around against their city rivals, they did well to make sure they dominated well. And now it feels like they have one leg in the quarterfinal already. They do, and they dominated possession, got about 65%. 7 shots on target compared to Leverkusen. They had just 1. When we were making analysis about this game, I told persons, let's be careful. It's not a Bundesliga game. And if you check the way Bayern Munich got here, a stroke of luck, I think that's what Arne Slot should give to them. And I listened to Vincent Kompany saying the way they got past Celtic, it was a wake-up call that they need to do well. And that's why we've seen this sort of result. And now, it's going to be very difficult for Leverkusen, but I agree with Cecilia. I love stranger things in football. So let's see what Leverkusen can do in the second leg. Yeah, I don't know if they can actually turn things around. I'll go with Bolu here. There's no way Bayern Munich should be losing 4-0. I love oddity, Cecilia. But stranger things have happened. Yeah, but when they come now and they do it, then you... Yeah, we'll come here to talk because we love things like that, unprecedented moments. That's what football is all about. Now,
Barcelona, I don't know how they were able to do it. Yes, they were away from home. Yes, they were playing against Benfica, a team you could say they are a lesser team, or so to speak, not as big as Barcelona. But when you're playing against away from home, and then you got a red card as early as 22nd minute into a game, and you went on to win that game, so you have to give them their flowers.
For a team that played 5-4 in the first leg when they met in the group phase, many thought, oh, this would be a revenge mission for Benfica, because there were lots of cry about the first leg that they could have got a penalty instead of Barcelona scoring the winning goal. This second leg, the same venue in Lisbon, Barcelona will be in trouble. Then the early red card, oh, this is sealing the deal for Barcelona. But that's why they tell you in football generally that football is like mini skirts. It doesn't reveal everything, because if you just check the score of that game 1-0, this is rubbish. But believe me, that was a game and a half. Both were going for each other, back and forth. Barcelona were attacked, Benfica going, and it was a gift from Benfica, passed the ball to the wrongest player, Rafinha, who has been unsung all season. Just picked his spot. He didn't even wait to get, let me get to the box. No. Picked his spot and sent the ball to the back of the net. Obviously, the second leg will be 11v11, at least for starters, and Benfica have a huge mountain to climb, because if Barcelona starts the game, if Benfica get a red card like Barcelona did, it will have the game over even before the start. So it was a good game for Barcelona. It was a necessary win for them. And as it stands, like we've said about many of the teams that picked up a away win, it feels like they have one leg in the quarterfinal.
We'll see. We'll see.
Like
but that's your parable about the mini skirt not revealing everything. But maybe it gave Barca a little thing, a little idea of, you know, the sort of football to play. But look, when they played that first leg, that ended 5-4. I'd conclude that football was spiritual, you know. For Rafinha to score that goal at the time he did, you know, and when I was doing the analysis, like, how did the ball get to Rafinha? How did Barca even make that save? Because it was
from defending the
you
corner.
know, that was proper counter-attacking football, and I concluded I know football is spiritual, and they went on to win. And with this 1-0 win now, it's ginger for Barcelona to just wrap it up.
How easy will it be for them? But, you know, when you look at a team like Benfica, sometimes when you have nothing to lose, you just want to give your all. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Throw everything at them, but they are going to be at Camp Nou.
And the fact that there's no away goals rule this time around, you know, Benfica's mindset will be similar to PSG. We can't defend. The home teams can decide to sit back, but you cannot. You have to get the goals. Boy, it can be counterproductive. If you send it all out, and they pick you on the break, you get yourself into more trouble. But in football, sometimes when you go all out, errors can happen in defense, then you shock your position. It's possible, definitely. PSG can win at Anfield. We've seen Real Madrid do it. Barcelona can lose at home. Will it be tough? Definitely. But is it possible? Like you guys have concluded, stranger things have happened in football.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's why I love football. I mean, there's some of the games that, when you think basketball is interesting, I mean, you just have 2 seconds, and then the next thing, somebody just beat the buzzer, and then there's a win, or it goes into you know, overtime. It happens like that. But in football, yes, when you're watching, you can never say never. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for the return leg and see who will be going through into the last 8. That's a big one. Austin, wrapping this up.
We gotta go. I love it so much. I should be back again tomorrow.
You have to be here
to talk about that. That's it. At this time, I'm not saying in London, in Lagos. I'm Austin Okonak, but in everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Bolu, it was fantastic you being here tonight.
And I'm thinking of coming back to join us tomorrow. Well, yeah, it's good to be here again. Definitely we'll come again another time.
All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mongbe. Have a good night's rest.